Action.
Welcome to Filmmakers Focus. I'm Doc Kennedy. Today's focus is turning a short film into a feature-length film. My guest is James Stewart. James is the creator of the award-winning short film Foxed. James shares with us how Foxed has been picked up by a major production company to be made into a feature film. So this is the kind of episode that can get any up-and-coming filmmaker really excited. But before we jump into that, I just want to ask you kindly to share this episode with those you know who could benefit from it, and join us on Facebook and Twitter. There's a lot of great conversation going on. Love talking film, love talking about what you got going on, and it's just exciting, the opportunities that are out there, and I know this episode is going to prove that even more. So without further delay, here's my conversation with James Stewart.
Cut.
Welcome to the show, James.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
This is really exciting. I'm excited about what you have going on. Now, tell us a little bit about how Foxed originated, what your plan was. I mean, it's just so cool that you were able to take a short and turn it into what is now going to be a feature.
Yeah, it's very exciting and a very exciting time for us. So the way Foxed originated was I have a career as a commercial director. And I had been doing a lot of stereoscopic 3D, so getting into technology-driven storytelling is what I'd call it. And I was on a shoot doing a 3D commercial, and one of the guys in the camera department was also a DP. He was the first camera assistant on my shoot, but he was a DP, a director of photography on stop-motion films. He'd done a couple stop-motion films. So literally at the wrap party of this project, he was saying, you know, I love 3D, but I've never done anything in 3D, but I've done stop motion. You know, we should do something. And I had just seen Coraline, and I was in love with the film and in love with the idea of stop motion. And even though I'm not an animator, I had done a lot of 3D and a lot of visual effects and a lot of CG animation, like computer animation. And we hit it off, and he said, you know, let's do a stop motion 3D film. So I thought, well, you know, we're up in Canada. The idea of making a film like Coraline, which is a very expensive Hollywood film, it's going to be very difficult to raise money and to do that outside of the Hollywood system. So I thought, you know what, let's do a short film. We'll do a film that is a standalone. It's a look into the characters, into the story of the movie we want to make, but it'll be a standalone film that plays with a story, even though it's a bit of an open-ended story if you've seen it. You know, it's about life's battles and our young girl who's been trapped by her darkness, and her battle continues at the end. I said, let's make a short film. We'll play on the festival circuit. We'll win awards, and we'll get a movie deal. You know, I thought that's a crazy idea, but that's better than banging our heads against the wall for years trying to raise like Hollywood studio money to make a $50 million film. And that's surprisingly what we did, and it actually worked. It's a great little proof of concept. We made this film with some money that we raised and just private money and friends who helped out and worked on it for cheap, and we animated my studio on a little sound stage, and we did it sort of as a passion project over the course of a year, and got it out on the film festival circuit, and from there it just took off. People liked it, and it just grew and grew and built up momentum and got a lot of followers and won some awards. It won 7 awards. And got the attention of a lot of people. So we started getting a lot of offers. People were saying, why don't we make it into a feature? And I said, well, as a matter of fact, that's what we wanted to do all along. So, because I wasn't really telling the film festival people that, you know, this is a trailer for a movie, because, you know, they don't like that. They want to see short films. So once we started getting interest from studios in Europe and in North America, then I started saying, well, in fact, you know, we have a script, we have a full story for Emily and the Foxes, And we started looking at different deals, and the best deal and the best relationship I found, and the one we went with in the end, was with um, Martin Cates, who is David Cronenberg's producer, and he's done the last four Cronenberg films, including Maps to the Stars, which was out this year, and Cosmopolis, and A Dangerous Method, and he did Hotel Rwanda, which was one of his first features. He's done about 10. So he's one of the biggest feature film directors in Canada, and he's well established and well known in Hollywood and well known in Europe. And he saw the film and he loved it, and he showed it to his kids. They loved it, and he said, I get it. I like the story. I like the feeling and the art direction and the animation and the storytelling and the emotion, and I can raise money to make the movie. So it was a dream come true, and it's amazing that it actually worked in the end. But I do believe it's a great model for, if you have a feature film, you can make a trailer and you can go and flog it and raise money at like film markets. Or the other angle, which we did quite successfully, is you make a standalone short film that will win awards and stand up as a short film. But as long as you establish the story and the characters, you can say, well, there's more to come. We have a full feature. And it just built up momentum. Our little short film just took on a life of its own and played at over 100 film festivals. My original idea was just to win one award, so we could say, the feature is based on the award-winning short. But then we started winning awards, and then it started getting into festivals. And at that point, I just wanted as many people to see it as possible. I just wanted as many people to see it in 3D. We shot it in 3D on the big screen, or in 2D on the big screen. And I just wanted to build up the market and the community, and it just kept snowballing. And then we opened at #1 on iTunes last fall. So it's been a global success, and people have seen it and they love it. And we're going to make a movie, and we already have a built-in fan base.
That's fantastic. So, did you originally write two scripts right at the same time, the full-length version and the short?
No, originally there was no feature script. There was a feature idea, and then there was a feature. Then there was a. It's basically a scene out of the movie in the end, but it was just sort of one scene or one little sequence for the short that we felt could be a standalone short. And there was a full feature treatment, but there wasn't a script. So I didn't write the script until about a year ago.
Okay.
I did the first draft last year, and I'm just finishing up the second draft now.
Great. So really the encouragement would be to aim your focus towards just making that short the best that you can, so that you're not, like you said, trying to beat the drum with a trailer or trying to raise funds for something that doesn't have the proof of concept that you were able to prove is there.
Yeah, I mean, there's different ways of doing it. I mean, definitely people do trailers as proof of concept to say we can do this film. But a trailer is much different. A trailer is a montage of scenes. And I didn't want to, create a whole bunch of action scenes, a whole bunch of emotional scenes to say this is the movie, because in my mind that was actually more work. I really would just want to do one scene. These are the characters. This is where they're going emotionally. This is where the storytelling is going to take us stylistically. This is kind of what the film is going to look like. And if you like this, you'll like the movie. And and I didn't really think about building up an audience, but as we started the festival circuit, I started to focus on, okay, we're in, we won one award. Now we just need to get fans, because we have to prove to investors we have a market for our movie. Yeah. Emily is a rock star, the lead character. Children love her. That we go out on the festival circuit. We did on the festival circuit with the actual puppets, because it's stop motion. Kids can meet Emily. They can see the actual puppet. She's about 8 inches tall. And they love it. They go crazy. They want to see her. It's not like she's an animated character and you have to build one of those stuffed human-sized characters with a human walking around in a theme park. they can see the actual character who actually delivers the dialogue in the movie. They can meet her and get their picture. So we went to Comic-Con. It screened at Comic-Con last year. And it's just unbelievable. People want their picture with her. Oh my God, that's Emily. And it's truly thrilling when you see the puppet that you've already seen in the movie. It is thrilling. We can't deny it. But she's become this rock star. Kids want her autograph. They want a picture with her. So, we sign autographs. We sign, Love Emily on little postcards, and getting a movie made is hard, and it's really about if you have an audience, it's a lot easier sell to the investors. Yeah. So we've had millions of people have seen our film, and we have a huge Twitter following, we have Facebook following, we have people send in pictures on our website. Little plug here, foxmovie.com. In the community section, there's people send in pictures of themselves with the characters, with the posters. We've built up a following because literally 60,000 people have seen it on a big screen at a film festival. Yeah. And millions have seen it now on TV and on iTunes.
Wow. So you've gone from making this short pretty much in your home to now you're building a feature. How has that changed as to what you were doing before to make the short into how you're now creating the feature?
Well, it's very different. Right now, we're not actually building the feature yet. We're still in financing. So it's a lot of conference calls and lawyering and fundraising discussions, all that kind of thing. But we're ready to start at any point. But it's a completely different process. Because we had complete control over the film we were making, we did it one shot at a time on one stage. The way stop motion is done is you have actual sets and you have actual characters who are about 8 inches tall, and you move them around frame by frame and you shoot it frame by frame. Or in our case, it was stereoscopic, so it's 2 frames for every frame. So we did that in my studio, in a space about 10 by 10. The movie is going to be different. It's going to be that times 20. So we're going to have 20 stages shooting 20 shots a day. So unlike CG animation, which is, most of the, Disney, DreamWorks films are computer animated, our process is different. We're going to do it stop motion with some enhanced visual effects that are digital, but we're going to shoot it. Our process resembles more live action than it does digital animation, because at the end of the day and end of every day, we have a shot that's done in the same way you'd shoot a scene in live action. Mm-hmm. Yes, there might be visual effects or rig removal and things like that we would do, but it's not like a CG animated film whereby everybody is working on the whole movie, every shot, and the film's not done until every shot is done. We're at the end of every day of shooting, we're going to have a minute of the film in the can. So, we'll be cutting it simultaneously and we'll be doing visual effects simultaneously. It's a different process. It's a much bigger process. It'll be 20 times bigger than the way we did it.
Yeah. So what took you, what was it, 50 days of shooting, or how long did it take you to do the 3 minutes of the short?
Yeah, it was 52 shoot days because there's about 52 shots in the film, and that kind of pace, we just said we'll do one shot a day on one stage.
Wow. So when you look at that in this, how long would it take you to do that 3 minutes? Is it 3 days?
Well, if we did it in the movie, yeah, it would take 3 days.
Wow.
but the movie is 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So you just scale it up accordingly. So we would probably do about 30 seconds a day. I think the shoot schedule is about 70 weeks of shooting.
Boy, that's still quite a big chunk of time. But
yeah,
man,
absolutely.
It's so worth it. I'm going to encourage everyone to go out and see Fox the short. I just couldn't believe it. I showed it to my roommate, and it was just incredible. I really loved the sound. The sound was just fantastic, and it brought it all to life, just in an incredible way. So I definitely recommend that everybody go out and watch Boxed on iTunes.
Beautiful, thanks.
Yeah, you
Yeah, it's
bet.
been successful on iTunes, and it's not on the web yet. So we're trying to plan when we're going to actually drop it on the web. Probably put it on Vimeo. It's on Vimeo on demand right now, but we'll probably do Vimeo and then some other kind of free web launch at some point.
Super. Well, so to the person out there who's looking to get their film off the ground, get the financing, get that big push, do you have any words of advice for them?
Well, yeah, it's a stereotype, but or a cliche. I would just say, just do it. I'm not wearing Nikes, but you know, the filmmaking industry has changed so much in the last decade, and it has gone from you need film and you need a camera and you need people and crew and money, or don't even think of making a film. It's gone from that to go make a film right now. Like pull your phone out, shoot HD, and color correct it, and you got yourself a movie. So there's really no excuse to not make your film. You do need a great story. You do need a great script. You do need great actors, and you do need good sound and good visual storytelling, good cinematography. But all those tools are so available right now and so easily um, accessed by calling up your friends if you're in film school or you have connections. So, I think that you have to do it, and it doesn't have to be the best film ever made, but you need to be prolific, make a film, make another film, make another film, and let the films grow. And if you can get them on the festival circuit, do it. If you can win awards, do it. You can project them on the wall. You can project them at film festivals. You can put them on YouTube. You can do a completely different way from what we did. Make a film, put it on YouTube, and get 1 million followers that way. I mean, there's lots of success stories of people that just have viral hits. So we decided to not do that and to do it kind of more of a traditional film route. Um, but yeah, I would just say just go out and do it. It takes less than a day to shoot a live action short film, and you just need a great script and some great actors and hopefully some lighting, and you can do it. That's the good news. The bad news is a lot of people are doing it. So when you do go on the festival circuit, it's a lot harder to get noticed. So after you do it, after you take my advice and you do it, my next piece of advice is be tireless. You have to be tireless and work and work and work and hustle and hustle and hustle, because you need to make more noise than everybody else. And there's a lot of people making noise. I went to a bunch of the festivals. We played at over 100 festivals. I obviously didn't go to them all, but I went to maybe a dozen, and I learned a lot about what's happening out there in the world. And people are making films, but Sundance gets like 6,000 applications. People send in 6,000 films, and they accept 40. You have to stand out. How are you going to do that? That's the bigger challenge than finding money and equipment. So everyone's different, every film's different, and finding your audience is a different path. But you just need to look around, and you see people doing it, and there's no time for any excuses. I met a guy at a festival in San Francisco who had a film in the festival that he shot for $3,000, feature film. And I said, "How the hell did you do that?" And he said, "Well, my cameraman was $1,200 including gear, and we shot it in 7 days, and we paid $500 on food, and I cut it in Final Cut on my laptop, and the composer did it for free, and a couple of the actors got $50 each, and now I got a feature film in a major film festival."
That's amazing.
So I said to him, "Well, I'll exec produce your next film for 4,000."
No doubt.
But I was shocked, and they shot it with a 5D, and I couldn't believe it, and it was a great film.
That's the
You know,
thing is
it,
a good movie is still a good movie.
it is. It was a well-told story, had good acting, and there you go. And I said, well, that, which, and you kind of want to make a living at some point, so you don't want to keep making $3,000 features, but you can do one,
Yeah,
and then parlay that into something better next time.
exactly what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm fortunate in that I work as a director. I kind of came up through the ranks in the commercial world, and I can make a living as a director. But breaking into feature films is a challenge for anybody, and breaking into animated features is very difficult. So you have to show everybody that you can do it, and the best way to do that is by doing it. Make films. And Robert Rodriguez said it best when he made El Mariachi. He said that was my practice film. I made this film. No one is ever going to see it. I'm not even going to release it. He just wanted to practice it so he'd learn how to make a film, not show it to anybody. But then when it came to doing his next film, people go, wow, you know what you're doing. So he shot El Mariachi, himself. He cut it at home on 2 VHS machines. This was the 90s, I guess. And for $3,000. Now you don't have to do what he did. You could shoot it on a borrowed Red camera, or you could shoot it on GoPros, or you could shoot it on a 5D. You can cut it in Final Cut. You can do your titles in After Effects. You can do your score in GarageBand. You still need to have talent, but you can do all these things in high definition, in 4K, and now there's no film, so you don't even need film prints. My first film I did, you had to send film prints to film festivals, which was ridiculous because you need to get them back as well because they cost thousands of dollars each. So you can only have we only had 2 prints of our film, and we had to juggle it between film festivals. Now you can send them the files via FTP, and they play DCPs, which is all the cinemas now play digital cinema. So you can send as many DCPs out around the world as you want. Doesn't matter because they're encoded, they're encrypted. They turn on and turn off, so you don't need them back. They just shut off.
That's amazing. Well, the time's never been better. The opportunity is there, and it's just
Yeah,
up to us if we're going to make it happen.
absolutely. Tell great stories,
Yeah.
and and Hollywood will take notice if that's what you want, or the festival circuit will take notice, or more importantly, the audiences will take notice. And I find that the talent rises to the top. You got to work your ass off, and you need to be talented, and you need to have good timing. But I think we have proven with our little film that it can be done. We had a lot of great energy, a lot of great people worked on it. Everybody was very dedicated to doing it. And I keep saying to them, I hope Fox is the greatest investment they ever made,
Yeah.
because they're all going to work on the movie.
Oh, that's fantastic. So you got everyone that was involved. They're back on for this crew.
Yeah, everyone's excited. Everybody wants, and I feel like it's payback.
Yeah.
They worked their butts off. People got paid a little bit, but they essentially got paid a tenth of what they would get paid if they were working at their regular job
Yeah.
on a TV show or something. And it's payback time. They're going to get to work on a feature film and get paid what they deserve to get paid.
That's awesome. That
Yeah,
that makes it so
it
worth
feels
it.
good.
Yeah, yeah, it's got to. That's
Yeah,
amazing. Well, James, I
yeah.
want to thank you for your time. I know you're super busy, and we've been working hard to make this happen, and I'm so glad that we were able to make it happen. How can people get in touch with you?
Well, foxmovie.com is our website. That was the website for the short, and then we've now transitioned it into sort of the movie site, and we'll be uploading info about the movie. Certainly, you can download Foxed on Vimeo on demand and iTunes, and it plays on TV periodically. It's kind of not on the festival circuit anymore, but we still accept invitations to play at film festivals. It's playing actually Sunday night in Toronto at a film festival. where I live. But yeah, it's on iTunes, and and please get in contact with us through the website. We would love to include you in our community as we go on this journey.
Super. And we'll have links to that stuff in the show notes, and we'll just say goodbye, James. Thank you again.
Awesome. Thanks. Great talking to you.
And cut. That's a wrap.